What's up, the people? What's going on? To all the places that I am streaming right now. Um, Facebook, my personal Facebook page, my business Facebook page, Taylor Made Training for You. Uh, my private group for imperfect non-judgmental people 50 and over. My men's mental health group, uh, Twitter, Twitch, and my YouTube channel, Wins Boys Mindset. For everybody who's tuning in, or people who may see this later, I want to thank you for tuning in, supporting. Thanks for tuning in. You are now in a no judgment zone with me, Sean Taylor, discussing topics with no judgments. Again, discussing topics with no judgments. Um, Today's title that we're going to talk about, I'm going to try to spend at least 30 minutes. I'm actually going to put myself on a clock today. Yeah, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. And because I got to take boss lady to get her some lunch, my daughter. So she's the boss. She's the boss of me. So anyway, talking about just moving forward. Um, a lot in life. Before I segue into this, man, um, there's this is a no judgment zone. So you can voice your opinions. You can you can say whatever you want to say. I'm not going to judge you. So if you got anything you want to say, you got any comments you want to comment on, feel free to do so. It's not going to be any judgments on my part. All you do is just give me a different perspective from where to look on, and I'm not going to get in my feelings about it. And also, I want to mention, you know, um, the title is about hope. It's just about forward movement and moving forward regardless of what goes on in your life. What we have to stop doing, and a lot of people do, quit comparing your life to what you see on social media. A lot of times, people they measure what they see on social media to how they think their life should be. And let me tell you something about people. And this is something that I learned in therapy. I love my new therapist. He's a great dude, good brother. Um, but we talk about how people you never how do you get to the authenticity of a person? How do you get to the genuine person? How do you get to the real individual? And see, social media is something that people pretend. They use social media to hide behind who they really are. And what they do, it's like, you ever seen a highlight reel of sports or anything like that? You see the best, you either see the funniest things or some of the best plays or whatever. It's like a reel, and that's how social media is. It's like a highlight reel. They always going to post the best things. I'm living my best life. I got all the answers. I got life figured out. I got the best person. I've waited and got this and that. Let me tell you something, man. How often do you see people talk about how difficult they are as people? How often they talk about how they use people, how they play people, how they abandon people, how difficult they are as a person? How often do you hear people talking about their issues, their idiosyncrasies, their flaws, their imperfections? How often do you hear people talk about who they really are, their failures, um, the bad things they've done? No, they're just going to talk about the highlight reel. So don't compare yourself to the false narrative that you see on social media, because it's fake. There's nothing real. I mean, and I've been saying this, and people laugh when I say that. Everybody lying, because the words and their actions, it never matches up. It never follows up. I mean, it never. Everybody's got a sad story, so don't fall on the excuses of a sad story, because we all got a sad story. But here's the thing. The real people are going to tell you their mistakes. They're going to tell you their mess ups. They're going to tell you the things they've done wrong. They're going to tell you how they fouled, how they cheated, how they lied, how they manipulated. Those are real conversations. And never get caught up in the highlight reels that you're seeing on social media. I never buy into the BS, man, because the BS never makes sense. The BS and the words and the actions, they never line up. They're not never like this. They're never not straight in a row. There's nothing but highlight reels. So please quit buying into the highlight reels that you see on social media. Okay? Let me tell you something, man. Real people ain't perfect, and perfect people ain't real. That's the best advice I can give you. Real people ain't perfect, and perfect people ain't real, man. You know, the real people ain't gonna have a whole lot of association of friends, and they ain't, they ain't, they ain't with the rah rah. That's not real people. That's the fake people. So never get caught up in the highlight reels that you see, because a lot of that stuff is pretty much for show. You got a lot of attention whores on social media, just in the world, period. They just doing everything just to get attention because they're lacking something in their life. And that's their problem. It's not my issue, it's theirs. But never get caught up in the highlight reels that you see on social media. Never, ever get caught up on the highlight reel. And that's why I developed this podcast, because I wanted to talk about real stuff, real issues, just raw stuff, nothing scripted, nothing written out, nothing thought out, just coming straight off the dome in realness and its authenticity. So please quit comparing your life to the highlight reels that you see on social media, because the dark stuff and the mistakes and the dirt, people, they not gonna talk about that. They're not real enough a woman to talk about that. They're not gonna be real enough a man to talk about that. And they're never gonna tell you everything. So never, ever, ever get caught up into that stuff, man. And that's just something that I was always taught. I don't buy into that stuff, man, because like I said, real people ain't perfect, and perfect people ain't real. And you can take that as relationships and marriages. Man, come on, don't get caught up in don't get caught up in the false narrative, and stop and don't play yourself, because you're better than that. So never get caught up in the highlight reels that you see on social media. But man, when things go wrong in your life, you got to keep moving forward. You got to keep moving forward no matter what. You know what I'm saying? I feel what you going through. I know about depression. I can't let my depression stop me. I know what it feels like to be abandoned. I can't let that stop me. I can't let divorce stop me. I can't let breakup stop me. I've lost my job before in the past. I can't let that stop me. You have to keep going. No matter who supports you, no matter who says they're going to be there and they're gone tomorrow, no matter who say they love you and they're out of there tomorrow, you have to keep going no matter what you go through, because these are life lessons. Life lessons. And life will constantly teach you what I'm trying to tell you about and what I'm trying to show you. Life will teach you, man. Because, man, let me tell you something. Anything that's meant for you to have, it ain't going nowhere no matter what you do. Because it's meant. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes you're going to go through things in life, man, and just because you didn't fell down, you got to keep going, man. And I talk about New Year's resolutions a little bit on yesterday, man. Let me tell you something, man. If you made a resolution, it came out your mouth. That thought became a thing. That thing came out your mouth. Now you have to make that thing real. But once you say something, I don't care if you say anything out of your mouth, you have to own it, and you have to stand on top of that ownership of what you said. Because if you don't have a word in this life, man, you pretty much less than spit on the ground, because you can't even own what you say. So how do you expect anybody to believe you or to be real with you when you can't even be real about what you say out your mouth? Just because you having bad times don't mean that they're always going to be bad times. You know, I was watching something and I heard this, and it was so profound. You know, because the holidays, and I was talking to, one of my best friends. It was a week ago. They were on vacation, and we were just talking about, you really never know what people are dealing with until you are actually in that person's shoes. And when people talk about you or say anything about you, you'll say, I wear a size 12 shoe. And they wear a size 8. But they're going to act like they know how it feels to walk in this size 12 shoe that I got on my foot right now. How do you know how to walk in a size 12 shoe when you wear a size 8? You don't know how I feel. You don't know my thought process. You don't know what I'm going through. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know what I deal with on a daily basis. But everybody feels as if they know what you're thinking about. I thought there was only one person who knew Sean's thought, and that man sits high and looks low. I didn't know it was you. I don't even have those. I don't even get into those conversations, man, because that's a that's a senseless conversation of immaturity to even get into. I'm not. You know what I'm thinking. So what am I thinking right now? I mean, you know what I'm thinking. Can you give me the lottery numbers, please, so I can win the lotto? I mean, you know what I'm thinking, man. Don't even when people try to act like they know you better than you know you, man. Don't have them senseless conversations, man. That person got some serious issues. When people can pick you apart and then they can't handle being picked apart themselves, that person got some serious, serious issues. You know, and don't worry about people who tell you, "Oh, you need to heal." You definitely need to heal based off your track record. So don't listen to none of the stuff that people say. And again, don't buy into the highlight reels that you see. You gotta keep moving forward, man. Life is about forward moving and forward progression. You're gonna make mistakes in this life. As long as you breathe this breath that we all are breathing, you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna have setbacks. There is nothing perfectly in stone. You know, I was saying something, and I don't know if I said it yesterday. I may have said it yesterday. I don't know what it feels like for everything in my life from A to Z to be going right perfectly. I don't know what that feels like. I don't even know. I would have to seriously think with some thought that think of a moment or moments I may have had where everything is going right in my life. I don't know what that feels like. If you know what that feels like, please tell me. So I'm used to the rough terrain and things being rough and just rolling with them punches and then adapting to the rough terrain so I can actually get to the smooth path. But just because you have made mistakes in your life, man, you don't have to beat yourself up and you ain't got to tolerate nobody else beating yourself up. The biggest, hardest things for people when they make mistakes is to forgive themselves. And you got to learn to forgive yourself, no matter who is holding something over your head. Those people who are holding things over your head like a dark cloud, just get away from those people. Especially when you try to rectify the matter because they have the immaturity of a 3-year-old and they ain't even trying to rectify it. But you tried to rectify it. That just shows your maturity level opposed to them. You know, my mother always told me cowards run away from problems. Cowards run away from situations. Cowards deflect and evade. So you don't have to even when people do that to you, they just shows your character that you don't even want to be associated with because when the chips fall, they ain't gonna be there to be there for you anyway. They're gonna grab tail and run when the chips are fall. When it comes time to do what needs to be done, they're gonna grab tail and run. So when a person shows you who they are, believe them and you don't wish them no ill will, but just keep it moving. You don't stop your life because of what has happened to you. Don't stop exercising just because you've gone through a breakup and a divorce, because you lost that job. Take care of yourself first, man. No matter what, because let me tell you something, adversity shows character. Adversity it's going to separate the men from the women, the girls from the boys. It's always going to, adversity is your time for you to stand and rise above it to shine. So why would you deliberately just stop because you got problems? It's one of the things that I've seen in the fitness world when people got problems in their life, they stop taking care of their bodies when they need to dig in. That's the time you got to dig in deep. You want to dig in harder. You want to go harder. You want to dig in deeper because of the pain. To me, you may think this is crazy. I'm at my best the more pain I'm in. Pain is motivation for me. Pain is fuel for me. Pain is something that once I get through it, I can look back on it and I thought wasn't going to make it because of that pain. And that's when you have to push your hardest. There's nobody going to, here's the thing, nobody can do life for us individually. We individually have to do life for ourselves. We have to live with the things we do. Day in and day out, that mirror is going to let you know who you really are, and that mirror gonna stay quote. One thing I love about the mirror, it has no respect of person, and whatever reflection you see, that's what that mirror shows you. And that mirror stays cold-blooded 24/7, 365 days a year. You can run from anything you've done dirt-wise. But that mirror and that mind are two things, baby, you ain't never gonna be able to run away from. Because it's always going to remind you. You can ignore everybody in the world, but your mind is going to remind you of your dirt. Your mind is going to remind you of your secrets. Your mind is going to remind you of your lies. Your mind is going to remind you of your deception, the person that you played, the people that you used. Your mind is going to remind you. And that's the thing, contrary to popular belief, when people lose their mind, go crazy, it's because they can't escape the things inside their mind. And those things that drive them crazy, they never fixed it. They never rectified it. They never go try to salvage the situation. So you're gonna live with that stuff. You can act like you ain't it bothers if you got a heartbeat. I don't care how hard you think you is or how bad that you think you are. That mind is going to gut check you every day, and you're going to be forever haunted by the things in your mind. That's why some people can't go to bed without drinking. That's why some people they can't live without doing drugs, because of the stuff inside their mind. See, when I tell you that mindset is everything, y'all don't think about the deepness of the thought process of that mind. You so caught up into acts, man, that mind will make you or break you. It will make you or break you mentally. It will make or break you psychologically. It will make or break you emotionally, intellectually. You can't escape that mind. Some people are mad. The people who are angry and stuff and all, they angry because of their minds. The stuff that's in it that they cannot escape. So when I listen to people and when I watch people, even in situations and circumstances, in my mind, I'm so glad that I had a mother that taught me about life. She didn't teach me how to live without her. She taught me about life. I'm so happy I had a grandmother that taught me about life. I'm so glad I had an auntie, my auntie Deborah, they taught more about life than they did in anything. And I've learned so much. And in life is all people. It's saturated with people. They say, study people, observe people. They will tell on you. They will tell on themselves based off of, don't listen to nothing that they say. Believe hardly nothing that they say. You watch the character of that individual. You watch when you are really going through something, who really cares, who's really concerned. That's the real person. And how they treat you is how they treated others. What they said to you is what they've said to others. What they've done to you is what they have done to other people. It's not me or your place to judge them. But when you see it, realize it, recognize it, and just move accordingly. But don't you stop. And don't you become stagnant based off what you've been through. That's a terrible way to live your life. I'm closing in on 18 minutes. I'm going to stop this bad boy at 30 minutes. I'm determined. But you have to keep moving forward. When it comes to your body, right? Just because you failed a couple of times, just because you've given up on your fitness journey, don't stop. Keep going, because that one time you have to realize what stopped me going. Why did I quit? Why did I give up? It's your mindset. Your mindset is the determining factor whether you sustain and stay consistent with the thing, opposed to when it gets tough, you quit a thing. You have to find where the fight is on the inside of you. And you have to embody that fighter. You have to embody that gladiator it's inside you. You just got to find it. That warrior is inside you. You just have to find it. That soldier's inside of you. You just got to fight it. Find it. And you got to search long and hard for it. But when you get it, embody it. And don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on life just because life is hard. Giselle, you okay, mama? Okay. She was too quiet. I was like, what is she doing? She's too quiet. She was noisy earlier. I'm like, okay, it's too quiet. So, but as I was saying, you have to move forward. And that the times that people give up when things get hard. That is not the time to give up. You do not want nobody, you do not even want to associate with people who give up on you, who throw in the towel on you. Because if they threw in the towel and gave up on you now, they're gonna do it later. A quitter is always gonna be a quitter. A loser always gonna be a loser. A coward's always gonna be a coward. Don't buy into their excuses, because the excuses just camouflage in the BS. Because when the chips fall, that's when you see who's really in your corner. And they shouldn't change just because things happen. Like I said, real people ain't perfect and perfect people ain't real. When you realize that, hey, I heard somebody say, man, look, man, I only want people in my life who realize that I ain't perfect. They gonna treat me as such, they gonna move accordingly because they know I'm not perfect. They ain't looking for perfection. They can manage unrealistic expectations. They ain't even got no unrealistic expectations because they realize I'm not perfect. Those are the type of people that you want around you. They know that anybody can make a mistake. Anybody can say something they really don't mean, or whatever the case may be. Never, you don't want friends and loved ones around you who think that you're supposed to walk on water, that you can't have a bad day, that you can't have issues and situations and whatever, man. And let me tell you something about reciprocity, being reciprocation. If you have people in your life where things ain't reciprocated, get them people out your life. Because if it's not reciprocal, you on the island by yourself anyway, baby. And you have to understand that. That reciprocation it's everything. Reciprocation shows what a person truly thinks of you. Reciprocation shows what a person how they truly care about you. Reciprocation shows what type of priority you are in their life. And if there's no reciprocation, reciprocation, you don't even have to have a conversation. Reciprocation exposes everyone. And when things aren't reciprocal, it shows you what you have or what you really don't have. You don't even have to have a conversation because reciprocation is going to, the answer is in the reciprocation. Know that, understand that. If you care about people and everything they go through and they can't even care about you through anything, they can't even ask you about anything. How was your day-to-day? How was your therapy session? If they don't care nothing about you and what you go through and you're thinking about everything about them, there is no reciprocation. Friends, loved ones, if there ain't no reciprocation, listen, bro, man, you ain't got nothing to talk about. Especially when you know everything I've been through. And I'd have been there for you 10 toes down. Now, we ain't got nothing to talk about, man. Because you are selfish enough. You either going to be man and woman to handle what was said about that, or you're going to work on that reciprocation part. You see, it's okay to think about yourself and to work on yourself. Life ain't fair, so never expect life to be fair. But if you got people who are close to you, who are supposed to be 10 toes down for you, and there's nothing in there that's reciprocal, You have to think long and hard. What do you really have in your camp when there's no reciprocation? Exactly. You don't. Reciprocation exposes selfishness. Reciprocation exposes it's all about me. Reciprocation exposes manipulation. Reciprocation exposes using. Reciprocation exposes liars. And you have to understand that. On the cool, I'm not even offended about things that Gwen already taught me about. Gwen been teaching me about selfish people since I was a kid. So I know they out there. And when I see it, I'll be like, dang, I thought that was different. No, it's the same as everything else. Back to the drawing board, Sean. And on the cool, I'm cool with that. I'll go back to the drawing board a million times till I get it right. But one thing about Sean Patrick Taylor and Lynn Adair Taylor, Gwen didn't raise quitters. Gwen didn't raise losers. Gwen didn't raise two dudes who grew up to be men that wasn't fighters. Gwen didn't. She raised warriors. She raised gladiators. She raised two soldiers who would go in the trenches through anything. But you would be the first to give up because you ain't got that tough skin. You would be the first to give up because you lead by emotions. You're going to be the first to give up because I don't know what it's like to give up. All I know is fighting. It's what I'm good at. So when all you know is the fight, quitting ain't even an option for you. It never is. But adversity, like I said on yesterday, adversity and challenges brings the bitch up out of every woman. It brings the bitch up out of every man. Now you see what you got. That's friends, families, loved ones, girlfriends, boyfriends, husbands, wives. Adversity and challenge brings the bitch up out of everybody. But the soldiers, the gladiators, and the warriors, when they see that bitch coming up out of them, they choke the hell out of that bitch. And that bitch is the adversity of life. That bitch is the challenges of life. That bitch is the depression. That bitch is the sadness. That bitch is you losing your job. That bitch is that divorce. That bitch is that breakup. That bitch is the person you just buried. That bitch is death. You have to rise above that, get in front of it, and choke it out. And then you have to keep moving forward. You're gonna do one or two things in this life. You're either gonna bitch up or you're gonna man or woman up. There's no gray areas in between. You have to keep moving forward. No matter what you go through, you move forward through those tears. You move forward through your fears. You move forward through your past. You move forward to those people who judge you. You move forward through those people who abandoned you. You move forward to that person that divorced you, that woke up after 10 years and say they don't want you no more. You move forward past the manipulation, past the users, past the games, past the liars. You have to move forward. Forward progression cannot stop. To become stagnant and complacent is unacceptable. That is not an option for you. On your fitness journey, you are going to have setbacks. On your fitness journey, you are going to fall short. But you can't bitch up. You got to keep moving forward. In fitness, you're going to have a month where that scale ain't moved. You still weighing the same, but you not seeing the big picture. You maintain your weight. You haven't gained the weight. You still winning, and you still have to move forward. You can't give up just because you've had a bad hand. Whatever hand that you've been dealt, you got to play the hell out of it. You lose when you quit. You lose when you give up. You lose when you evade. You lose when you deflect. You lose when you are a coward. I have no respect for any of those people. You're a coward, no respect. You give up, no respect. You quit, no respect. I have no respect because you ain't got no fight in you. You got a lot of bitch in you, but you ain't got no fight in you. You ain't got no gladiator in you, baby. You ain't got no warrior in you. You ain't got no soldier in you. You got a lot of bitch in you, but that's all you got. And that's why you are always going to get the bare necessities in life, because you ain't got no fight in you. Or you got your hands out. Why would I sit in my house and I darn in and gain 100 pounds? And I expect the world to feel sorry for me. Let me tell you something about the world. The world don't care nothing about you. Gwen told me this at 12 years old. The world don't care nothing about you, son. The people that care about you is your family. And you're going to have a couple of people, you may have maybe one woman or two in your whole lifespan that generally cares about you. The rest, they're just people that you're buying time with. They're just pit stops. My mom described, she said, my majority relationships you have are going to be pit stops. You're going to have marriages that's going to be a pit stop. You're going to have these long 5-6 year relationships that's going to be pit stops. It's like a car race. I love Formula One, and I've been watching it, and they go through the pit stop. They in there for like 10, 20 seconds. She said, you see how fast they in there and out? Majority of relationships that you have with people are going to be pit stops until you get the real deal. You may be pissed off because you wasted time in those little piss stops, but it's to catapult you to that real thing that's coming. So you got to go through that fake ass pit stop to get to the real destination, to win the race, to where that checkered flag is. You got to keep fighting till you get to that pit stop. So son, you got to keep going forward no matter. Son, I don't care how you feel. You could be in aching, you could be pain, you could be mourning. Son, you can't allow your feet to stop moving forward, because the world don't care nothing about you, Sean. It was the most gangster shit I've ever heard that my mom started telling me at 12 years old that the world don't care nothing about you. She didn't wait till I was 20. She didn't wait till I was 25. She didn't wait till I was 30. She didn't wait till I was 40. She started grooming me at 12 years old to let me know that the world don't care nothing about me. I think that's why I'm still standing. I think that's why I'm still here. I think that's why when I was shot at and stabbed and all these different things I've actually been through in jail and out of jail, looking at 30 years, when any normal person would have crumbled. The 2 times I tried to kill myself and I'm still here and I'm still fighting. Lost 5 family members, 4 family members in a year. Important people, my mother and my son, they don't get no rougher and harder than that. But I'm still here. You know why? Because she told me the world don't care nothing about you, son. So when they lie and tell you every lie from A to Z, I'll never do this. I'll always be here for you. I'll never leave you. I'll never quit on you. I'll never abandon you. I'll never do this. I'll never side with other people against you. But when it happens, I'm not surprised, because my mom started telling me at 12 years old, the world don't care nothing about you, son. So I took that. I harnessed that. And people say, you too hard. You too this, you too. I'm hard. I'm rough. I'm tough, but it's because of the things I've been through. And I would go through it 100 more times so I wouldn't fold about this life stuff. I have to keep moving forward no matter what I have lost along the way. No matter what pretty pictures a person may painted for me along the way, I have to keep moving forward. There are people that I miss every single day. I wonder what they're doing. I want to call them up. But when, say, dogs chase after cars, son, you have to set a message. And you have to be known, I'm not like them others. I'm not going to chase you down. I'm not stalking you, baby. I'm not texting you, blowing you up, doing drive-bys. I'm not even built that way. My mom would be rolling around the grave. She said, real men know who they are, and they know their purpose. Baby, let them tell you one time they don't want to deal with you. You just keep moving forward. Don't let nothing slide in your life. And whatever you do, don't ever let your body slide, son. Don't you ever stop working out for a person that's breathing. Don't you ever stop taking care of your body for a person that's breathing. That's your passion. Don't you ever let your body slide. Because you see me, the body always going to be right. I may be going through World War IV on the inside, but that body going to stay right. And I refuse to let my body slide because of lifestyle. If you have gained weight, if you have let your body slide for a woman, a man, divorce, a breakup, a job, you need to reevaluate that situation. You need to pick yourself up off that ground, dust yourself off, and keep moving forward. And it's got to be a part of your life. Don't let life stuff break you down till you forget about who you are. 3 months before my mother passed, I was sitting down, we was talking, we was eating, and she was saying, oh, no matter what you go through, son, don't forget who you are and show people who you are. Because they don't know. They don't know what true strength really looks like. Show them that strength. Show them that there ain't nothing you can do to me that's going to break me. It ain't going to faze me. You have to keep moving forward, Sean, because the world don't really care nothing about you. When my mother said you're going to have a couple of people on one hand who genuinely care about you in life, that woman ain't been wrong with, she ain't been wrong with nothing about nothing in life, and she's and still dead on, 100% accurate, even in death. She's been right about men. She's been right about women. She's been right about relationships. She's been right about marriages. She's been right about everything, life in general. She's been right about everything. How is that possible? Because she has lived this life way longer than I have. She done been some of the things that I've had been through. Plus, she done been on the other side of that womanship. She done broke that stuff down to me too. And people say, oh, some people have told me you act like I don't like women. No, you are offended by my truth. And my truth came from a woman. So if you're going to be mad, I guess you're mad at a woman because that's where the truth came from. It ain't come from no man. None of my advice ain't come from no man because no damn man was around. So if I know about you and I know about your tactics and I know how you move and it came from a woman, I guess you're mad with women then because that's where it came from, baby. Don't get mad at me because women know women. That's like me being mad at men because men know men. I know I'm a dude. I know how dudes are. So if I got all my advice, my game, everything from a woman, how can she be wrong? She ain't. You just don't like that truth is penetrating you and it's dead on accurate, and you mad because I'm not easily fooled. You can call me whatever names you want to call me, but you mad because I'm not easily fooled because Gwen gave me and Lynn the playbook. We just play along with your bullshit. So don't be mad. If somebody didn't call me out on truth, I'm just going to sit there and take it. I'm like, well played, touche. God damn. I'm just, I can't run that game on you. And people get mad when they can't be, people get mad because you're not easily fooled. That's another Gwen. That's another Gwen nugget. People get mad because you're not easily fooled. There you go. Don't be mad then. You just got exposed, but it is what it is. And there's no harm, no foul. I ain't gonna blow up your spot. I ain't gonna go to the new guy saying, I ain't none of my business. That schmuck will find out on his own. Tough on you, buddy. I done been there. But here's the deal. You have to keep moving forward, regardless of what happened. You have to keep moving forward, no matter what. Because time does not wait for no man or no woman. It's going to go on without you. Life is going to go on with or without you. You have to keep moving forward. irregardless of what. But never, ever, ever buy into the highlight reels, baby, that you're seeing on social media, man. I don't want to. Anybody in life that's looking like it's perfect, I ain't even worried about that, because I know, I say that. Because let me tell you something. It's like my grandmother used to say, we all got bullshit. Mm-hmm. Even at us healing people, you got bullshit too. Ain't none of us got all the answers, and anybody got life figured out. So them highlight reels on social media, I laugh at them every day. Like, yeah. Let's talk about some real shit, though. Let's talk about your skeletons in your closet. Let's talk about the BS you've done behind closed doors. Let's talk about your manipulation and lies. Let's talk about your deception. Let's talk about your mistakes. Real freedom, people, does not come until you get tired of worrying about what people think or the perceptions of the outside others, outside of you. Judge me all you want. I have men and women in my DMs. I want to thank you, Sean, for the bravery you have. I'm never going to put pats on my back. I tell them thank you, and I say, listen, I appreciate what you're saying, but I ain't nobody special. And I lied about things for years. And when my mother died, it was a turning point in me when it comes to the lies. Everybody that I lied to or played or did anything wrong, I have paid for that and then some. Or I've gotten my stripes. I've gotten that whip. I've sat down and had breakfast, lunch, and dinner and dessert with Karma. Karma has spent the night with me several nights, some months, all throughout the year. I know Karma on a first name basis. I done met Karma's cousins. I done met Karma's wife. I done met Karma's nephews and nieces. So I done paid my dues. I done paid. So here's the thing. As I tell them, as I thank them for, people say, I thank you for your bravery, stuff that you talk about I could never talk about. It's not about me trying to win some popularity contest. Some days I like people and some days I really don't like people. I'm just being honest with you. I mean, some days I like people, I'm just being honest, and some days I don't like nobody. Because the way the world is, people are really pathetic and disgusting out here right now. And each year gets worse and worse and worse. So please stop thinking and being delusional of yourself and being attached for reality, thinking that the world's going to get better. If you have not seen the present, you need to judge the future from what you've seen in past years. It has gotten worse and worse and worse each year. If you can sit up here and say that the world has not gotten worse each year and every year and it's keep getting worse, you are detached from reality. And I don't know what world you live in. You must be on Mars, Pluto, or Saturn someplace, because you're not here with us. This bullshit shit has gotten worse and worse and worse. The mindsets of men and women are so deplorable that it is laughable right now. You don't know what you got. You may think you got, I got the one. Woo! I got the one. She ain't it. I got the one. Girlfriend, he ain't it. The mindsets of people get worse. The mindsets of people get worse by the days, pretty much. Just sit and have some conversations of the bullshit. It's never who they are that you met on day one. You be like, who in the hell is this person? I was laughing and I was talking to a friend. I said, have you ever been in a full-blown marriage or relationship with somebody and they get mad at you and don't even tell you they love you back? Baby, let me tell you something. Man, listen. Let me tell you something. They looked at me like I was speaking a language that they couldn't understand. He was like, are you serious? I say, listen, man. It's like, are you? I said, man, you ain't ever been through that. Well, I don't know, man. I have to think. Well, think long and hard about it. But that shit's out there. It was like, what grown ass person? I said, yeah, and they mature in their eyes. Let me tell you something, man. That real stuff, it don't move like y'all move. Real don't move like y'all. Real ain't finicky and flaky and shaky. Real don't move based off its emotions. That's not real. It's fake. It's fugazi, but it's, you mad at me, but you can't. I done been through that, bro, so many times. and all I see is Gwen pop up. Told you. That ain't real. The real stuff is two people get mad at each other, and I love you too. I'm mad at you, but I still love you too. Boy, that's the most hurting thing in the world. It's very hurtful. And it's rude as fuck. It's rude as hell. But they perfect. They got all the answers. They got their life together. You got the maturity of a 2-year-old, and you talk about maturity. That's the most immature shit that I've ever seen in my life. But I lived it, been through it. Been through it. I ain't calling no names, but man, look here, man. Man, ain't nothing out there, man. I was talking to somebody yesterday, man, ain't shit out there. It ain't nothing out there. Let's take myself out of the equation and stand out. Oh, y'all can have it. It's all y'all's. I'm gonna be, because I laugh all the time. There ain't nothing out there. Recycled liars. They just, everybody lying. That's why I say everybody lying. And people laugh every time and say, man, everybody out there lying, man. Everybody out there lying. I'm just saying, everybody is lying. So you get mad at this podcast, you ain't even gotta like it. And here's the funny thing. People know who they done wrong. They get mad at everything. They think everything that you post is about them. No, that's guilt eating at your love. That's guilt eating at your dirt ass. Nobody ain't talking about you. You ain't that important. Please don't flatter yourself. You got to understand the definite meaning of generalization. I know that probably just went over your head. You don't get it. But that's all it is. Nobody ain't talking about you. Because if I really want to talk to you, I just attach your name to whatever I'm saying. What you gonna do? Nothing. You can't do nothing. I mean, seriously. But that's just the realness of it. I'm like, man, I ain't doing that. I got a problem with you. I'll be up in your face with it. Ain't got time for that. You know, I'm like, no, that's wasting time. That's wasting money for me. Do whatever. Do you. Good luck to you. I don't care, man. I really don't care. Take them lies and stuff to the next Gump. Yes, I said Gump. G-U-M-P. Gump. But you have to keep moving forward, regardless of what. Keep smiling, regardless of the pain. Keep being happy, regardless of the hurt, regardless of the loss. But you got to keep moving forward, because once you stop, you're done, and that's when you quit. Well, I made it to 46 minutes, but keep moving forward, and don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your body. Don't give up on your health. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your career. Don't give up on your education. Don't give up on those things that you set goals for. Keep moving forward, because when you stop, you lose. When you stop, you throwing in a towel. Don't abandon yourself, and don't even negotiate yourself just because it looks difficult. That hard stuff is what you need. That's going to make you better. Never look for easy. You want to look for hard, and you want to be comfortable on purpose, because that's going to keep you to constantly attain your razor's edge. But do not buy into the highlight reels that you see on social media, man. Because everybody out here, my grandma used to say all the time, we all gonna die dirty. And we all got bullshit. We all got skeletons in our closet. We all got secrets that only one of us me or somebody else knows about. You human, man. You flesh and blood. You ain't gonna be perfect until you get up out of this shell. So quit trying to be. Just be your authentic self. It saves you so much time of trying to pretend to be something that you're not. Period. And always keep moving forward. Eyes, front, feet, moving forward. That's how it should be. Your growth is going to come from adversity. Don't bitch up when it comes challenging. Don't bitch up when things come hard. Don't bitch up when there's a little adversity. When people bitch up in your life, when you thought you had something solid, when they bitch up, man, just walk away. It's not solid. They not solid. They selling themselves to be solid, and they far from it. They all about themselves. And let them be all about themselves with the next gump. Don't be a gump. Take yourself out of the gump equation. But I digress. Listen, man, like I always say, I'll start judging people once I'm perfect too, but since this brother's in no danger of ever becoming perfect, you'll never have to worry about Sean ever judging you. And listen, man, your mistakes, your setbacks, your falling short, things you did wrong in your life or have done wrong or will do wrong, that's what makes you you. It makes you you. But don't let nobody hold your mistakes over your head, man. Because they got stuff they have done just like you have done. Maybe in a different way, but hey, we all are works in progress. Ain't nobody a finished product out here. And ain't nobody got all the answers to nothing. And no one's got this life stuff figured out. We all in school, baby. Remember that. I'll catch you guys on the flip. Peace.